Hey everyone, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. I am Joey and I am going to be talking to you guys today about basic tips for bringing your new puppy home. I know, especially with all the craziness that's been going on while everybody was home, everybody's bringing home new dogs. Plus, one of my besties is getting her new dog, Finn, on Sunday, and I'm super excited. So I thought, why not do a live about some basic tips for new puppy owners? Now, I could talk about this topic for literally like 4 hours because there's so much good information. So I'm just going to give you some of the like generalized stuff, some of the basic things, and then maybe I'll just go into some other lives later when it gets more like detailed. But for now, we're just going to do nice and generalized. Okay, so first thing that we want to talk about is preparing your house for your puppy to go home. So whether you are adopting the dog from a rescue or maybe you're getting a dog from a breeder, either way, you're going to want to make sure that, especially if you've never had a puppy before or a dog in general, there's some basic things that you're definitely going to want before the puppy even comes home. You want to make sure you have all of these things. So some products to have on hand. You are going to want beds, blankets, toys, bowls, treats, leashes, dog tags. So maybe even going to like the store or ordering something online that has your name, your information, and that sort of stuff on it. Dog food, collar, puppy pads, doggy gate, a crate, a doggy can, cleaning supplies, poop bags, and this just kind of touches on the generalized stuff. But a lot of the things like the toys, you're going to want different types of toys. You're going to want some of the stuffless toys. You're going to want some that they can really chew on, some that are a little bit harder. You're going to want just a wide variety of toys so that way you can really find out what type of toys does your dog really like. The ones that keep them occupied for a while too, because if you're like me, if you are a stay-at-home dog mom, you are needing to like be on the computer and just focusing on that kind of stuff. Maybe you're someone who's going to be going to work, or, most of the time we're pretty busy. So we want to make sure that you've got some way to distract the puppy in a healthy way. And so there's many toys out there that you can do where you can stuff their food in there, or maybe some healthy treats or some peanut butter to kind of keep them preoccupied for a while. Definitely the cleaning supplies. And so let me talk a little bit about the dog crate. So you want to make sure that you can invest into a crate that's whatever the size your dog's going to be. So obviously if it's a German Shepherd or Newfoundland, you're going to need a pretty giant crate, but you want to make sure there's a divider in there so the puppy doesn't have the entire thing. That's going to really help with potty training and giving the dog where it feels nice and cozy and secure and safe in there. But you can obviously move the divider to be bigger as the puppy grows. If you're just going to have like maybe a dash hound, you can just go with the smaller crate, but still you're going to want something that's, that has that divider in there. It's a super helpful way to kind of open it up as the puppy needs it. The next thing is, so that's kind of, so doggy gates. And you can get little like circle crates as well. Those are really going to be handy because you want to make sure that you are always supervising your puppy, and because they're going to be getting into things. So if there's times that you can't supervise your puppy, blocking off into, say, like a bathroom, or blocking them off into the kitchen. So like if you are working at the kitchen table, you can have the little playpen over in the other side. You can still keep an eye on the puppy without having to like chase it around the house. You definitely do not want to give your puppy free reign of the house. That's really going to help with potty training, because you really want to give your puppy just incremental spaces for them to get used to. They know where the door is to go potty, all those types of things. And then you can open it up gradually as the puppy learns those potty training skills in that small area. Then you can open it up to, oh, honey. Yeah. Will you grab a paper towel? Mischief just. Yep. Sorry, guys. Joys of dogs. All right. So yeah, so then you can open it up to be just a little bit bigger as the dog grows. Gross, yes. Okay, so next tip, you want to make sure that your dog is, so once you get the puppy and you're bringing the puppy home, yay, exciting, happy fun times. So depending on the age that you get your puppy, usually it's between 8 and 14 weeks. And I mean, obviously, depending if you're getting it from a rescue, it's a little bit later. But generally for puppies, we're going to say about 8 to 10 weeks. So if you guys don't know, the big impressionable, like the imprint time for puppies is between that 8 to 10 weeks and to when they're about 4 months old. That whole entire time, that puppy is so impressionable. So this is a really important detail because you want to make sure that what happens in that time frame is going to be super, super positive. And so I'm going to get into a little bit of that later, but I just want to let you guys know, like making sure that when the dog comes home, when they're meeting the kids, maybe meeting other pets, maybe a cat or something like that, you always want to make sure that it's a positive experience for them. So with that, that comes with socializing your puppy in a very positive way. So to do that, you want to make sure that you let them be curious. But again, you want to supervise them in the curiosity, letting them run around in the backyard, sniff things, chew on the grass, they kind of explore things around. That's really going to help work their brains, and it's really going to let them learn new things as they grow. But also so socializing, a lot of people think, oh, I can just take the dog to the dog park. That is not what I mean by socializing. There's so much more that goes into it. It is loud noises, taking the dog through a car wash, introducing the dog to a vacuum. If you have children, you want to make sure like all the kids' toys that make noises and wiggle around. The RC cars, maybe the little cars that they drive around in the backyard. If you've got a hammock, there's like all of these things that you can do. Even like thunderstorms. So I do know that some breeders will do this when the puppies are really young, but playing a sound that is, just put it on the TV, whether it's rain or a thunderstorm, make sure the puppy's nice and calm. Maybe you're distracting them while you're playing with a toy, or they're chewing on like a toy of some sort. But playing some of those different sounds is really going to help to socialize the dog in a really healthy way. But you always want to make sure that you are giving that positive reinforcement. And it doesn't always have to be treats. It can be pets. It can be good boy, good girl. It can be all of those types of things to help socialize the puppy. And so another big thing is you want to make sure that the puppy is on a routine. So what time are you guys going to wake up? What time does the dog get fed? Usually 2 to 3 times a day, just some small meals. Definitely don't free feed. What times are they going to go out potty? Especially if you're going to be working, you're going to wake up, you're going to do some playtime, you're going to feed the dog, take the dog outside, maybe have a little bit of playtime. It goes back into the crate. You come home at lunch, you get another little bit of food, another potty break, goes back into the crate. And then when you get home, eat more, another food, some more playtime, potty time, all those kind of things. Oh, just make sure to stay on a schedule and stay on a routine. That is the best thing for the puppy, because they're gonna learn that this is just what we do. And once you start teaching them this is what we do, that's what they're gonna do. If it's a schedule where it's all over the place and this kid's kind of letting this one out whenever they feel like it, or this, that, or the other thing, the puppy's gonna get really confused, and it's not gonna know this is what our schedule is. Believe me, schedules and routines, best thing for puppies. Another thing you want to try and do is do a quick Google search for toxic foods that are for puppies. Things like nuts, grapes, chocolate, apple cores. I mean, there's a whole list of them. I do a whole live on that. But you really want to make sure that you know what kinds of foods could be toxic for puppies. Because if you're in the kitchen and you drop something on the floor, let me tell you, that puppy's going to scoop that up right away. And so you really want to be careful, like while you're peeling that apple, that nothing falls on the floor. If you're eating some chocolate, nothing falls down to the puppy to get to. So again, that's supervising, but you really want to know what are those toxic things. It's really easy. Google search, just real easy. Also, I really want to make sure that you guys, when you are picking out a food, you want to make sure that it's a good quality puppy food. Not, there's some very low end puppy foods, and you're just going to have to feed a lot to your puppy. And let me tell you, if you feed a lot, it's going to poop a lot. It's just the way that it is. So if you get a higher quality kibble where meat is the first ingredient, there's no corn, no wheat, no soy, anything like that, believe me, it's going to do the best thing for your backyard, your poop bags, and not having accidents in the house. If the puppy's not having to poop all the time, you're going to have less accidents. So just, when you're picking out a good food, or if you have any questions on what is a good food, message me, put it in the comments, and I can help you guys with what's a good food. And then the next thing is training. So it's never too early to start training your puppy. Very simple things like sit and down. You want to, as soon as the puppy is at your house, if the puppy's acting how you want it to, give it all the love in the world, because that's the positive reinforcement and teaching the puppy this, you're doing what I want you to do. They're going to love that. That's a great way to teach the puppy. Don't wait for the puppy to have the bad habits and then try to fix it. Just show, just teach the dog like, okay, you're already doing what I want you to do. Great job. You're not chewing on stuff. Great job. But you also want to make sure that you're giving the puppy some alone time and some independence. I know with crate training, if the puppy's in there and he's crying and it gets really annoying, I understand, been through it, but letting the puppy cry a little bit and not just immediately going and checking on it, or if you're playing and the puppy whines, just not immediately picking it up, giving the puppy some space. That's really going to help with separation anxiety, giving the puppy a little bit more and more independence. So like as the puppy gets older and it's playing with a toy, maybe just run and into the kitchen and kind of hide around the corner and see how the puppy reacts and see how long it's going to react without you being there, because it's going to build its confidence. It's social skills of just wanting to be able to play by himself. So you're not have the dog's not wanting to be with you constantly. So those are just some of the basic tips that I have. The training, obviously getting into like puppy school, puppy training classes, all of those things are going to be really, really great. But here's a huge, huge tip. With the socialization, with the training, you do want to make sure that if you are like definitely getting your puppy out early, getting them into the car, learning how to ride in the car correctly, but things like walking the dog over to the car where it's not on, opening up the door, not doing anything, closing the door. So it's getting used to the sounds of that. Then getting into the car, but not turning it on, just taking it back out. Just sitting in there and playing for a little bit. Things like that to get the dog used to the car. But until your dog is fully vaccinated, do not take it out into public places. There's so many diseases, and especially parvo. I know last year here in Michigan, parvo was a huge ordeal. So until your dog is completely and full up on their vaccinations, don't take them and put them down on the ground. If you are going to like a dog park, or not a dog park, but like a bark and brew, like if you want to take your dog, make sure you're always hanging on to them. If you are going to Home Depot to kind of get used to those sounds and things like that, just hang on to the dog, not even putting it into the cart, just making sure that the dog isn't getting into an area where it can pick up some of these diseases. Once it's fully vaccinated, that's totally fine. Going out and about, going to the walks in town, going to Home Depot and the stores where they allow for pets. Those are all going to be super great experiences, but you want to make sure you don't do that until they're fully vaccinated, because nobody wants to deal with parvo. It is nasty, it's gross, and it's super contagious. Like you can pick it up on, your kid goes over to a friend's house and that puppy has parvo and they come home. If your puppy's not fully vaccinated, your puppy can get it. It's crazy. But there's other diseases as well. So those are just my very quick broad, basic tips for bringing your puppy home. If you guys have any questions about other training tips or other puppy tips, let me know, and I can help you guys answer any questions. All right, thanks for joining in. Bye.